Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, which mysteriously disappeared in 2014 in the southern Indian Ocean.
The Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board has gone missing.
Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 vanished in 2014 over the southern Indian Ocean with 239 people on board, and nearly a decade later, it remains missing.
MH370 lost contact with Subang Air Traffic Control this morning.
Now, scientists have uncovered a chilling new discovery that could challenge everything we thought we knew about the flight's fate. Could this finally bring real answers, or will it only add to the uncertainty? The truth might be more unsettling than anyone expected. Before diving into this new finding, it's important to understand why Flight MH370 became one of aviation's greatest mysteries. How does a Boeing 777 carrying 239 passengers vanish in an age of satellites and real-time tracking? The strange events of March 8, 2014, left the world with more questions than answers. Despite speculation in the media about a possible hijacking, the fate of Flight MH370 remains unknown. Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 departed from Kuala Lumpur International Airport at 12:41 a.m. local time, bound for Beijing, China. It was a routine flight under normal conditions, with experienced pilots at the helm. For the first 38 minutes, everything proceeded as expected. The plane's final radio communication came at 1:19 a.m., when co-pilot Fariq Abdul Hamid calmly said, "Good night, Malaysian 370. That would be the last transmission from the aircraft.
Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night. Good night, Malaysian 370.
Just 2 minutes later, something unusual occurred. MH370's transponder, which enables tracking by radar, was manually shut off. Almost immediately afterward, the aircraft veered off course. Instead of continuing toward Beijing, it made a sharp turn westward, heading back over Malaysian airspace. Military radar later confirmed that the plane continued flying for nearly an hour, making another unexpected turn south before vanishing entirely. At first, air traffic controllers didn't see much cause for concern. Planes occasionally lose contact due to weather or minor technical issues. But as minutes turned into hours with no response, worry set in. By dawn, when MH370 was supposed to land in Beijing, it was clear that something had gone terribly wrong. The aircraft never arrived, and there had been no distress signals, no emergency alerts, nothing. The initial search focused on the South China Sea, following the flight's expected route. But after several days, investigators uncovered something unexpected. Data from Inmarsat, a British satellite company, revealed that the plane had continued flying for at least 6 more hours after contact was lost. This discovery shifted the search thousands of miles away, toward the vast and isolated southern Indian Ocean. Despite a massive international search effort involving dozens of countries, no wreckage surfaced for over a year. Then, in July 2015, a breakthrough came. On Réunion Island, a small French territory in the Indian Ocean, locals discovered a piece of aircraft debris. It was later confirmed to be a flaperon from MH370. In the years that followed, more fragments of the plane washed ashore along the coasts of Madagascar, Mozambique, and Tanzania. But the main wreckage, along with the black boxes, remained missing. The lack of a definitive crash site gave rise to endless speculation. Was it a hijacking? Some believed a rogue pilot might have intentionally diverted the plane. Others suggested mechanical failure, a mid-air fire, or even terrorism. Then there were the more extreme theories, cyber hacking, alien abduction, or a secret military takedown. The problem? No solid evidence supported any of them. The official investigation, led by the Malaysian government, concluded in 2018 with a final report stating that they could not determine what had happened to the flight. The international team is currently working on verifying detailed information, but we have nothing to confirm at this moment. The report did confirm that the aircraft had been deliberately flown off course, but it could not determine who was responsible or why. It also pointed out weaknesses in air traffic control responses, suggesting that if emergency measures had been taken sooner, the plane might have been tracked for longer. For many, the lack of closure has been overwhelming. Families of the missing passengers have spent years searching for answers, holding on to hope that new evidence will emerge. Governments and independent researchers have launched multiple private missions to locate the wreckage, but so far, every effort has come up empty. Before diving into the shocking new discovery, we need to take a step back and look at what was already known about MH370. The search for the missing plane wasn't just about looking in the right place, it was about deciphering cryptic clues, incomplete data, and puzzling contradictions. Over the years, aviation experts, scientists, and investigators pieced together the most likely sequence of events, but even their best theories left critical questions unanswered. From the start, the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 defied all logic. Unlike most aviation accidents, there was no distress call, no confirmed wreckage for years, and no clear explanation. Investigators only had fragments of data, radar signals, satellite pings, ocean current models, and debris analysis that created a partial but eerie picture of what may have happened. A major breakthrough in the investigation came from Inmarsat, a British satellite company that tracked signals between the missing plane and a geostationary satellite over the Indian Ocean. These automated signals, known as handshakes, were sent every hour and revealed something shocking. After vanishing from radar, MH370 had remained in flight for nearly 7 more hours before finally crashing into the ocean. This finding completely shifted the search efforts. Initially, teams had been focused on the South China Sea, believing the plane had gone down along its planned route to Beijing. But Inmarsat's analysis indicated that MH370 had instead turned south, heading into one of the most isolated regions on Earth, the southern Indian Ocean. This vast, deep, and isolated stretch of ocean became the new primary search area. Using advanced mathematical models, scientists estimated a likely crash site along what they called the seventh arc, a curved region based on MH370's final satellite ping. The search, led by Australia's Transport Safety Bureau, ATSB, spanned 120,000 square kilometers of ocean floor. Sonar scans revealed underwater mountains, ridges, and trenches that had never been mapped before. Yet, despite years of effort, no major wreckage was ever located. In 2015, the first significant breakthrough came. A flaperon, a wing component used for control, washed ashore on Reunion Island, thousands of kilometers from the suspected crash site. More debris soon followed, appearing on the coasts of Madagascar, Mozambique, and Tanzania. Some of these pieces were confirmed to be from a Boeing 777, and a few even had serial numbers directly linking them to MH370. The recovered debris told a grim story. Some pieces displayed fractures consistent with a high-speed impact, indicating the plane had struck the water with force. Others, including a section of the cabin interior, suggested that parts of the aircraft might have broken apart before crashing. One particularly unsettling discovery, a burned piece of wreckage, even raised speculation about whether a fire had occurred on board. Theories about MH370's disappearance ranged from deliberate sabotage to sudden mechanical failure. One of the most debated ideas was that Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah had intentionally flown the aircraft into the Indian Ocean in an act of mass murder-suicide. Some pointed to a flight simulation found on his home computer. However, the Malaysian government never confirmed this theory, and others argued that hijacking, crew incapacitation, or a technical malfunction were just as plausible. One of the biggest mysteries was why the transponder, the device that allows air traffic control to track an aircraft, had been manually turned off. Soon after, the ACARS system, which transmits maintenance and location data, also stopped sending signals. This meant the plane had been deliberately made invisible to radar, yet it was still being tracked passively by satellites. After years of investigation, the official search ended in 2018, concluding that without new evidence, the reason behind MH370's disappearance remained a mystery. But just when it seemed like MH370 would remain one of aviation's greatest unsolved cases, a new scientific breakthrough has emerged, one that could finally change everything. After years of failed leads, abandoned searches, and unanswered questions, recent advancements in oceanographic research, satellite technology, and deep-sea mapping may finally bring answers to what really happened to the missing flight. For years, investigators relied on ocean drift models and satellite handshakes to estimate MH370's final location. But now, a new method has emerged, one that leverages advanced technology and forensic oceanography to trace the aircraft's path with greater precision than ever before. One of the most important discoveries came from underwater sound waves recorded by a global network of hydrophones, highly sensitive underwater microphones used to monitor submarine movements, earthquakes, and even nuclear tests. Scientists revisiting data from March 8, 2014, detected a possible acoustic signal matching the moment MH370 is believed to have crashed into the Indian Ocean. If verified, this could pinpoint the impact site within tens of kilometers, drastically reducing the search area. But that's not the only breakthrough. Aerospace engineer and independent MH370 researcher Richard Godfrey has introduced an advanced weak signal propagation reporter WSPR tracking method, an approach that uses disturbances in radio waves to monitor objects moving through the atmosphere. WSPR functions like a massive tripwire, detecting small shifts in radio signals caused by aircraft movements even when they're not transmitting location data. Using this technique, Godfrey and his team claim to have reconstructed MH370's final flight path with impressive accuracy. Their analysis suggests that after losing communication, the aircraft took an erratic course, possibly indicating a struggle in the cockpit or an effort to avoid detection. Even more unsettling, the data aligns with previous theories, suggesting the plane may have been manually controlled until the very end, raising new questions about whether the disappearance was deliberate. Meanwhile, oceanographers studying deep-sea drift patterns have used artificial intelligence to reassess where debris discovered along the coasts of Africa and the Indian Ocean may have originated. By running thousands of simulations based on real ocean currents, they have identified the most likely impact zone, a location just beyond the previously searched area. This finding suggests that past search efforts may have come within mere kilometers of the wreckage. Adding another layer to the mystery, researchers have also detected unusual satellite anomalies in previously overlooked images. While analyzing archival data from Earth-observing satellites, analysts noticed strange disturbances in cloud formations over the suspected crash site. These anomalies could be shock waves from the aircraft hitting the ocean at high speed, a phenomenon documented in other recorded crashes. If confirmed, This could provide further evidence of MH370's final moments. One of the most striking new developments comes from a recent deep-sea expedition that utilized next-generation autonomous submersibles equipped with advanced sonar. In late 2023, reports emerged indicating that scientists had detected large, unnatural debris on the ocean floor, structures that do not resemble any known geological formations. While it remains uncertain if these are aircraft fragments, the location closely matches new predictive models. Some experts believe that in the coming years, a renewed search effort using these advanced technologies could finally pinpoint the wreckage. So, what does this all mean? If the scientific findings hold up, we may be closer than ever to solving the mystery of MH370. These discoveries suggest that while past searches were extensive, they may have missed the final crash site by a small margin. More significantly, they strengthen the theory that the disappearance was not just a mechanical failure, but likely involved deliberate human intervention. This raises even more pressing questions. If MH370 was manually flown to its last location, who was at the controls? Was it the pilot? A hijacker? Could there have been an attempted emergency landing that failed? And if the wreckage is found, will the black boxes still contain recoverable data after all these years? If these new discoveries are as promising as they seem, the next big question is, what comes next? After nearly a decade of failed searches, abandoned efforts, and shattered hopes, could these latest breakthroughs finally lead to MH370's discovery? With new data, state-of-the-art technology, and renewed commitment, experts believe the next search could be the one that finally solves the mystery. Since MH370 vanished in 2014, multiple large-scale search efforts have been conducted, each refining our knowledge of the plane's final moments, but still falling short. The first official search, led by the Australian Transport Safety Bureau, ATSB, spanned 120,000 square kilometers of the Indian Ocean, an area comparable to the size of England. Despite using advanced sonar technology, no wreckage was found. The second major search, carried out by Ocean Infinity, a private U.S.-based company, deployed deep-sea drones to scan the ocean floor in even greater detail. Beginning in 2018, the search covered another 112,000 square kilometers, but yielded no results. After months of effort and millions of dollars spent, the operation was ultimately called off. However, recent scientific advancements, including acoustic data, updated satellite tracking models, and AI-driven ocean drift simulations, have significantly refined the search area. If these findings are accurate, the previous searches may have missed the wreckage by as little as 50 to 100 kilometers, a frustratingly small margin given the vastness of the ocean. As a result, Ocean Infinity has announced plans to launch a new search in 2024, utilizing cutting-edge technology to focus on this more precise location. Unlike earlier missions, which relied heavily on large crewed vessels, this expedition will deploy AI-powered autonomous underwater drones capable of scanning deep-sea terrain with extreme accuracy. These drones will feature high-resolution sonar and 3D imaging, allowing search teams to detect potential aircraft debris more effectively than ever before. Another major advancement is AI-powered deep-sea mapping. Traditional sonar imaging often misidentifies natural underwater formations as possible aircraft debris, leading to false positives. But with AI systems trained on past search data, experts can now differentiate between natural objects and actual wreckage more accurately. This reduces the chances of search teams wasting time on misleading signals, as they did in earlier operations. In addition, deep-sea submersibles, similar to those used to explore the Titanic, will be deployed to examine promising locations in real time. These remotely operated submersibles will send back live video footage from the ocean floor, allowing experts to visually confirm whether an object is part of the missing aircraft. However, technology isn't the only driving force behind this renewed effort. Pressure from both the public and governments is also playing a role. The families of the 239 passengers aboard MH370 have never stopped demanding answers, and with new developments, their calls for another search are becoming stronger. The Malaysian government has suggested that it may authorize a new official search if solid evidence justifies it. Given the widespread interest in solving this mystery, the chances of global funding and international cooperation are greater than ever. The biggest question now is, what happens if MH370 is finally located? Finding the wreckage would only be the first step. The main priority would be recovering the black boxes, which could still contain flight data and cockpit voice recordings. Black boxes are built to endure deep-sea conditions and remain retrievable for decades. But after nearly 10 years underwater, there is concern over whether the data has remained intact. If the black boxes are successfully recovered and analyzed, they could reveal the precise sequence of events, whether MH370 experienced a mechanical failure, was deliberately taken over, or faced some other catastrophic incident. The cockpit voice recorder, in particular, could confirm who was in control of the aircraft in its final moments. Even if the black boxes are never found or are too damaged to analyze, the wreckage itself could still provide valuable insights. The way the debris is spread across the ocean floor might indicate whether the plane plunged directly into the water, descended in a controlled manner, or broke apart in mid-air. The search for MH370 has been one of the most difficult and costly in aviation history. However, the latest findings bring something earlier efforts lacked: a precisely refined search area, advanced technology that wasn't available before, and a stronger global push to finally uncover the truth. So, thanks for watching this video. If you found it informative, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content.